fellow degens. Welcome to the Pay the Man podcast. Spoiler alert. We provide the worst possible picks on the internet. Featuring your favorite hosts, Jay Grimm and Jay Wiz.
Yo, welcome back. Pay the Man episode 7. Wow. First guest on Pay the Man, the Brew Party Pod. Andy, Ryan, you were able to host us on the Maloney money lines back last Thursday. We went over a couple of our picks. Some were good, some were bad. But just before we begin, if Andy, Ryan, if you guys want to talk about who you guys are, what you guys are doing, that would be awesome.
Sure. So I'll start. So I'm Andy Hopper. I'm the host of the Brew Party podcast. So every week I drop a new episode on Fridays. And then Ryan, my guy here, is my special guest for our gambling segment called Maloney's Moneyline each week. So I'll give you an update just to let you guys know. I know these guys are the worst picks on the internet. We're not anything special, but so far we're 115, 83, and 3 overall. Combined. Ryan was on an absolute heater this last weekend at 7-1. He's 59, 39, and 2, and I'm 56, 44, and 1. But enough about that, because I'm sure we'll talk about the slate later in the podcast. But yeah, like I said, I'm Andy, the host of the Brew Party. Find us on Facebook at the Brew Party Podcast, on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at the Brew Party. But yeah, sports, gambling, great interviews, comedy. I talk about being a dad. We drink.
I didn't know you were a dad.
Yes, sir. My son is going to be 8 months old on
That's awesome.
the 10th.
Congrats, man.
Yeah, that was not a planned one there, Jay Wiz, but we don't have to get into that one.
It's okay.
But no, it's great. But yeah, the Brew Party podcast, we're doing big things. We've talked to an Olympic gold medalist. We've talked to a reality TV star that's appeared on Naked and Afraid and The Amazing Race. We've talked to a couple of basketball players that play over in Europe, like Michael Finke. He played at the University of Illinois. He's currently playing in the Netherlands. We've talked to Alex Ola, player from Romania, played at Northwestern. Trey Demps. His dad is Del Demps, the former GM of the Pelicans. Trey is currently playing over in Germany. He also played at Northwestern. And then Jordan Caroline, he played at Nevada. He was part of the Sweet 16 and Elite Eight teams for the Wolfpack a few years ago. And then Ryan is actually my most tenured guest, like I've said, comes on each Thursday to give the picks. Ryan, I'll let you talk a little bit. I've been rambling.
Well, I'm not the talker, but yeah, I'm
7-1 picker over here.
Yeah. I'm Ryan. I'm just here to have a good time.
That's it.
Here to have a good time and give fucking winners.
Where can we follow you at, Ryan?
Calling on
You can get me on Twitter, Malagna25, so it's like Maloney, but it's spelled baloney, like Malagna.
That's awesome. We'll drop all the links in the description of the podcast. We'll put it out there for the YouTube and everything. But that's awesome, man. I mean, it was great having the time to be with you guys on your show. Invite you guys down here, do a little recap, just grow together. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to collab, trying to build relationships with everyone. We're all in it together. I mean, we do have 2 separate podcasts, but we're all growing together. We all have the same intent. So let's jump right into it. Sunday, rough for some, awesome for other people. And obviously I'm going to start with myself because this is going to work from the bottom. 3-5. It's never where you want to be. It's never, especially if you're putting money on individual bets, not even just parlays, never where you want to be. It's not a good spot. But I mean, for me, what I did was a little different. I didn't individually bet these plays. I took a couple parlays. Personally, I wound up being up on the day after Sunday, being 3-5. I parlayed the right plays. I lost, obviously, a couple big plays. But, I mean, overall, it was a green day. But just that record annoys me for some weird reason. 3-5 hurts. It hurts.
Like Conor McGregor said, surprise, surprise, I'm on the bottom, right?
What else?
Yeah,
but that gives me to you, 3-4.
Yeah, what's funny is he tells everybody to take Syracuse. So I put them in my parlay, and
I
he didn't
fucking
even
had
take them.
Syracuse in the parlay too.
He didn't even take them. But
What?
yeah,
It was one of
he
those.
wears that Syracuse hat,
Yeah,
Syracuse
every day.
background,
Got
and didn't
everything
take
here. But I mean, it was one of those like. I don't want to lie and say I forgot, but it was like a 12 o'clock game, Sunday morning. Not going
Wake
to
up
use
a
the
little
voting.
late.
Not going to use the voting excuse, but I did go vote Sunday morning. But that's okay. We'll move on after
And
that.
that Syracuse game was hard to watch, man. The one game harder to watch was Ben DiNucci, but that quarterback over at Syracuse is horrible. But for
Not
me,
even
I
our
went.
starting quarterback. It sucks.
It was a tough week. Bryce Mitchell was really my only positive. If he would have lost, it would have been really bad. He did his thing, but I had the Bills -4. They won by
Fuck the
3.
Bills, dude.
They
I
won
have
by
to stop
3.
bet. I texted Ryan during the weekend. I said, do not let me bet on the Bills anymore. I had them last week against the Jets -12. And then we talked about it on the Brew Party last week, man. Like, we were scared of Belichick. They were covering almost the whole game, though. Honestly, we would have rather had fucking Cam Newton not fumble the ball and kick the field goal and go into overtime.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, we should have known when the Bills couldn't score a touchdown on the Jets.
That's right. You're right. That's a
That
great
should have
point.
that should have been the sign. But the Raiders hit, which was our underdog play. That game I couldn't even watch. It was like what 12-6. The Green. What were
I
you gonna
I
say?
had Red Zone on because the Bears didn't play till 3:25, so I had Red Zone on my TV, and it did. Let's just say it did not go to Cleveland, Las Vegas a lot.
And the one
had the
other I'll
over.
mention is
I
I
had
had
the
the
over.
over.
Oh
Green
yeah,
Bay-
come on, that sucked. That was so bad.
I made up for it though. My upset of the week, definitely the Steelers winning that one was huge. That's okay.
That was an awesome game. I hit on the Steelers +4 as well. I tailed you on that. You hit on their money line too. That's what I should have put down
I sprinkled on that one. That was Big Ben's just hot right now. You got to roll with
They're a
that
great
defense
team.
also. Great team.
Well, their defense,
and like
is
we
really
said
good
about
as
Lamar,
well.
he just can't win the big game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but the one other game I was going to mention was the Green Bay Minnesota game because we had the over at 50.5. And if the Packers didn't go for 2, or if they got the 2-point conversion, that would have hit. But for me anyway, I mean, the Packers is first. It's Packers, betting, then fantasy. That's my order. And just to see the Packers once again not being able to stop the run, it's worrisome. And it's like every year you think maybe we can make that Super Bowl run. It's like Pettin, Mike Pettin, I almost say Andy Pettin because I think of the pitcher in New York, but Mike Pettin has Preston Smith, a guy who had double-digit sacks, lined up in our cornerback position 10 yards back when they were in I form. Like, the guy needs to go. And then it's like, okay, if we're not going to be able to stop the run, we got to score points, but who's our second receiver? You know, so it would have been good to see us trade for Will Fuller, but once again, we don't make a move before the deadline because we like to just hold our draft picks. I know it's a betting podcast, so I'd rather not get into it, but we rather draft backup quarterbacks and third-string running backs. So I'll let you guys talk about your picks, but yeah,
I do want to ask you. I have a couple questions about the Packers. So you don't want to give Aaron Rodgers a first-round draft pick to throw to, you know, for his career, which is one of the most insane stats I've ever heard. He has 2 total touchdowns. Count
One
them.
was to
1,
Lewis.
2. 2 first-round draft picks. That's insane how the Packers never want to try to put any weapons around him. I know this is a betting podcast, like you said, so I'll keep this short, but I also am a Bears fan, so preface that. But it's just crazy to me how, like, if you have one of the best quarterbacks of our generation, not just in this league, of our generation, how you want to give him someone to throw to, and then, I mean, obviously he's got Devontae Adams, but you have to have a second option there.
Right.
If we're looking at our slate, Ryan, you should go first, man. 7-1, you fucking motherfucker.
Yes, so pretty sure my first pick of the weekend was my only loss. It was LSU Auburn over 65.5. That didn't go over, and then just got fired the rest of the weekend. I mean, I got Ohio State -12.5 at Penn State, and Bama -30.5 versus Mississippi State. So that was a good Saturday, and then we went into Sunday, and yeah, had a great day.
It was on a heater.
I did tell you on that Bama pick, so I appreciate that.
You said you were going, so I was going to ask.
Mississippi State is just so bad.
And then he hits on his underdog of the week again. You guys had the Rams, unfortunately. It was kind of a head-to-head matchup there, but just whenever Ryan picks an underdog, fucking do not bet against it. He's 9-4 now. It just
Ends up,
absolutely.
baby.
Now we
He's
know that
honestly-
for future bets. We
Yeah,
didn't know that coming in.
Well, I
Ryan.
told you when I made that pick, when you told me his record, I wanted to cancel it mid-episode, but I was already locked into it, man. And it started off good, but then just Goff sucks.
Yeah,
We didn't have to do much.
That was unfortunate because it wasn't even like Tua and the offense had to do anything. If you look at the team stats in comparison, the Rams should have won that game by a million, but they just had too many turnovers. But Ryan's better at picking underdogs than he is at favorites. He's 6-7 when picking favorites and 9-4 when picking underdogs. When he's picking a favorite, fade him. When he's picking an underdog, you better fucking tail him on that.
I love those dogs.
So if I'm going into my slate, like, so I started Saturday 3-0. I was feeling great. Like I've mentioned it on my podcast. If you listen, I've been in a rough stretch the past month, it feels like. So college football, I finally had a good day. I hit on SMU -13 versus Navy, and Navy almost came all the way back and covered that. Then I had Cincy -7.5. They killed Memphis like I thought. And then what else did I have there? Notre Dame and Georgia Tech went under 57. I was feeling it. I don't know. I need to keep that going into this weekend. Probably whatever Ryan picks, I'll pick. But then, yeah, like we said, Justin, that Green Bay, Minnesota game, missing by a point hurt. Bills -4, that sucked. Pittsburgh, Baltimore over 46.5. I just thought that total was really low. That went over. And then Raiders +2.5 versus Cleveland. I think I mentioned it on my podcast, but I had saw a stat before that in the NFL, underdogs of 2.5 points or less was hitting at a rate of 84%. So I think that's something to look forward to if you're an NFL bettor for the rest of the season. If you have a dog that is pretty close like that, go ahead and take them.
What the gut feeling?
My lock was Tampa Bay -11.5. We all saw how that went against the Giants. It was close to covering. The Giants got the ball back, and I really thought Daniel Jones was about to throw a pick six, and I was going to get a backdoor cover. They end up, of course, going down the field and scoring, and then not getting the 2-point conversion. So I'm missing my lock, but 5-3 after the month I've had, I will definitely take that for sure.
It's profitable.
That's profitable going into next week.
Yeah.
I think going into the week we were plus 17.2 units. Ryan, do you have our updated numbers yet?
No, I didn't do it yet, but
It's got to be way higher because you just made you would have made like $700 this week.
Yeah, I think it's like high 600s, maybe at 700. I'm not positive, but yeah,
that's what we do it for. That's what we do
somewhere
for.
around there.
We try to bring in as much money as possible. Before we jump into Thursday Night Football, I got two things. Real quick. I was all over Coastal Carolina -2.5. I think they won that game 51-0.
That was an awesome pick. They picked the fucking shit out of them. That was great. I tailed you on that.
I was very excited about that pick. But before we jump into this Thursday night game, you're a bettor. You're a degenerate. You know what's going on in the world. Have you guys been looking at this election live bets, the live betting going on, if that's any interest to you guys?
Yeah, I've seen a few of the lines. I know it's changed dramatically.
It's something special. Like, I don't want to get I'm not a big politics guy, but I mean, if you got money on this, you're going back and forth. I'm pretty sure by 10 p.m. last night, Trump was a big favorite. And now you look at it this morning, and it's just back and forth. I think it's going to be a very close call towards the end, but just wanted to bring that up because you can bet on anything. And now you're betting on who the president of the United States is going to be. You're betting on what states they're going to win. It's just, I think
said before the pod, we're going on the longest slate I think I've ever seen. We're probably in like the 76 overtime right now.
It's crazy.
I just want to know who won already. But
it's
awesome.
I think there's like a record dollar amount of bets in Europe on the winner of this election, and then I saw something shared like the fluctuation was insane. Like as the day went on, from like plus 600 all the way down to maybe even minus money. But yeah, that I didn't touch that, so that's all I had to say about
I just want to bring it up because it's like there's always something. Like I'm sitting here yesterday morning. I'm waiting for the debate show. I mean, the election show to come on, and I'm betting Sim Madden games. Like, there's always something you can bet. Just waiting. So I mean, that was that. I mean,
I bet Euro Cup basketball yesterday. And I have
that's
no
what I
idea
mean.
who the fuck it
To me,
was.
table tennis at 2:30 in the morning.
I was on a
I
tennis
hit on
match
Champions
yesterday.
League though
That's big.
yesterday though. I made like $80 on Champions League. That was great.
Oh,
First time
nice.
I've hit on it.
I didn't know
Sorry,
what to
Ryan,
do
I
with
know
that.
you didn't.
Whatever.
Get the
I'm not
losses
a-
out the way for the big weekend we got, Ryan.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So that was.
You know what's
that.
funny? I just want to mention. Remember, I said that Detroit, Indianapolis under looked good just right off the bat. I think the Colts might have hit that line themselves.
The Colts
Very
scored
close
40,
to it.
The Colts scored 42, and the
So they
over
got
under was at
close.
50 before the game. So they needed a touchdown and a 2-point conversion.
And Andy, you know how you said you were on a 1 month bad stretch? I think I'm on a 21-year bad stretch right now.
Yes.
So
Hey man,
Happens to the best of
You
us.
gotta, as Stu Feiner, the horniest gambler in America, would say, change everything.
I might need your dog to start making my picks.
Hey, I'll do it. He'll go right every time, but he'll do. If you want, I'll send you videos. You need my number? I'll just hit me up after this. I can send you personalized videos. We'll do it. I
That's
had
awesome.
a literally a special
Gonna need
request
'em.
today. Like I said in our gambling group, I don't really know this guy. Shout out to Kai. He asked me who Brew liked today for Maction, and Brew's pick, Kent State, hit for him. So congratulations, Kai.
Brew.
That is
Good
awesome.
boy.
See, I would have my dog do my picks, but he'd rather just like chew on everything instead and sleep all day.
It's really incredible that I can get him to sit for the 2 seconds and not take the treat like as soon as I put it down. I'm pretty amazed by that. But if he can sit for 2 seconds and always go right, I guess I just have to switch up the underdog and favorite on each side every time.
Unless it's winning, you know?
Yeah, you don't if it ain't broke, don't fix it, man.
Right.
That's awesome. I mean, I love that dog idea. Like I said, I did the all day last night. That's awesome. I've never seen that before, honestly. I've seen like other things happen, but I've never seen the dog do it. That's awesome.
Yeah, my buddy Grant Baker actually gave me the idea. I can probably hear his collar in the background. Come here, dude. My buddy Grant Baker gave me the idea that he should start doing picks, and I was just going to do it for all the prime time NFL games. So for the primetime NFL games, he's 3-2, and then now for college football, he's 1-0. So total record of 4-2. That's plus money, baby.
They're better than me this week.
No matter if he's going right or not. I shared it on Twitter at my personal account at ahop23. I was like, I think my dog may be a better gambler than me.
I mean, yeah, that's all. I love it. I'm going to tell you that till every day. But that brings us to Thursday night football. We got the San Francisco 49ers versus the Green Bay. What is that team called?
Yeah, funny guy.
The Cheeseheads, baby.
The Green Bay Packers. They come in at 7-point favorites. Justin, I want you to take this one off. This is a big game for you guys.
Well, I said after the game, if we were playing a healthy 49ers team, I would say I would never bet against my team, but I would say the 49ers are going to win this game just based off of what is going on against us against the run. We can't stop the run. Look what the 49ers did to us last year. Mostert ran for like 300 yards and 4 scores. So, but the problem is they don't have their quarterback. Tevin Coleman's out. Mostert's still out. They don't have their 3 starting receivers in Ayuk, Kendrick Bourne, and Deebo Samuel, and their best receiving option, George Kittle's out for the year, and their starting left tackle's out. So they don't have really their entire starting lineup right now. And I bet you JaMychal Hasty, I don't know what his prop is, but he'll probably hit the over. But, I mean, you got to take Green Bay in this game unless, you know, you're thinking about doing some sort of tease or anything. But it's how do you take a team that banged up?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, Packers minus 7 to play.
What about A.J. Dillon being out for the Packers?
Yeah, and Aaron Jones
Is Aaron Jones going to play? Like, do you take the under in this game? It's at 48.5.
That's true. Jamal Williams is also out because he was close to A.J. Dillon. So if Jamal Williams is playing, I'd feel good about him. But it's going to be close. It's going to be a game time decision with Aaron Jones probably. So it's going to be interesting to see if he plays or not. But if he don't go, it's going to be a lot of Tyler Irvins. So
You love to hear that name. I mean, like you just said, Andy, I love that under. I'm really heavy on this under this week, but it's tough to take an under when you got Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball. You could see he can throw Devontae Adams 4 or 5 touchdowns. It's sad, but it's true.
Especially after a disappointment last week
yeah.
against the Vikings. I know, Justin, you probably don't want to talk about it, but like, knowing Aaron Rodgers or watching Aaron Rodgers through the years, I think that fuels him, pisses him off there a little bit.
Well, you know what's crazy is that Devontae Adams was getting triple covered. They're shattering him, they're bracketing him, and he still ended up scoring 3 touchdowns in that game. But it's like, who else is going to step up in this offense? Okay, Adams needs some help. Is it going to be Scantling? Because Scantling, he sucks, honestly. I mean, he'll make one big play every 4 weeks, but the guy is not good at football. I'm sorry. Lazard, ever since he's been hurt, EQ, St. Brown, who we've been saying this is the year for him once he comes back from injury. And it's like Rodgers threw him 2 perfect passes that he's got to catch, and he just couldn't come down with. So
you saw Rodgers got pissed off after he dropped that. They get a close up when he said, "Catch the fucking ball."
Right.
I think that goes back to what we were saying earlier. They don't draft receivers early in the draft, and that's not saying you can't get talent later.
Yeah.
But at some point, you got to kind of invest in the weapons there, right?
But to be fair, we have had a lot of success later on, like Greg Jennings. He wasn't a first-round pick, but he was great. Jordy Nelson, Devontae Adams, Donald Driver. So we have had Randall Cobb. We have had a lot of good receivers who weren't drafted in the first round. But at a time like this, it seems like we're never making that move. This was our year, and we draft Jordan Love. So eventually you got to make the move or make a trade. Sign a free agent, But we signed Devin Funchess, But I'm interested. What do you got on this game, Ryan?
Yeah, I mean, I like the Packers by 7. Like you said, the 49ers are pretty banged up, but I don't necessarily think the 49ers are a bad team. But, I think the Packers win by 7 or 10.
That's exactly where I'm looking at that. But, Justin, your big saying is that touchdown in the back pocket. Yeah. I know Packers fan, big Packers fan. Do you dabble on the Niners plus 7 just for the touchdown in the back pocket?
Not with that line.
Can't do it?
No. If they were healthier. What was the line before a lot of those guys were ruled out? Because I feel like it didn't change much, right? Wasn't it like 6.5?
I'm pretty sure it opened at 6.5.
So
I think it was 6.5, maybe 6 if I was looking at it the other day. I could be wrong. But I think that was definitely 6 or 6.5. But my bet, if you keep catching me looking up, I got a little Ball State action going on. I got them plus 9.
What's the score? I have Ball State money line.
Oh, they're down by 10 with like 8 minutes to go.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no.
I got four or 5 of my really good friends are Ball State Cardinals. They went there, so I had to ride with the chirp tonight.
Yeah, I jumped on them. I got them in a teaser plus 9. They're probably going to be the last leg of it too, and it's just we need a big offensive drive here. We're down by 10.
But have you guys looked at the slate yet for Sunday or no? What are your first thoughts?
I have it pulled up. I need to look at it real quick. Seahawks -3 versus Buffalo. Hammer it. Buffalo's defense is good, but they have yet to prove to me that they are legit. And then Josh Allen is probably good for 1 or 2 fumbles on Sunday. I love Josh Allen. I root for Josh Allen. I want him to be good, but he has had 4 good games this year. They have played a lot of inferior talent. If anybody else has anything, I'm still looking through the card, but Seattle -3 versus Buffalo was the first thing that jumped out to me.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to look at it completely, but just looking at it now, I'm really liking the Dolphins plus 3.5.
Let's go, Ryan.
That is something that versus the Cardinals.
It's up to +4 now against the Cardinals.
I got 4.5.
Okay, DraftKings has +4. It might be.
I might have to hammer that.
How about the Giants plus 2.5? Is that something? Or are we staying away from? We staying away from them? Or
yeah, no.
Against who?
The Washington football
team. The Washington
team,
football team.
They're plus 2.5.
Plus 2.5. I mean, I think that's a decent play against the. I can't say the football team.
Put it into teaser. Plus 6.5, plus 6 points. You get that up to 8 or plus 9.
Yeah. What do you think about your team this week? The Bears plus 6.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Can they stop Derrick Henry? And as
Yeah.
our offensive line is without 4 starters now, that's huge.
Yeah, it's
Can they
bad.
block anybody? Can we move the ball?
Could Foles not throw 3 picks?
Can
It doesn't matter
can
now
Fo-
because Trubisky's out for a few games.
Honestly,
Trubisky
though,
would-
who would you guys start? Like, if you were I know Trubisky's out, but if he was healthy, who would you start at quarterback at this point?
Ryan, go ahead.
Probably Mitch, honestly, because with how bad this offensive line is, he's at least a lot more mobile than Foles is. So he can at least escape a lot of these situations. But I think they're pretty equal when it comes to passing.
Yeah, that was like the whole thing when we traded for Foles. It was like, oh, he could take Mitch's job because he's the guy that can throw the ball downfield. He's supposed to hit those deep passes. We finally fucking saw him hit one with Darnell Mooney for that 50-yard pass. And even though he fucking underthrew it by about 2 yards, Mooney was able to come back and catch it. Yeah, but with the way the offensive line is set up currently, I like what Ryan said. Mitch is the mobile guy. You could use him on those bootlegs where he can get out of the pocket and maybe not throw it, but use his legs a little bit. We saw, like, was it a third or fourth down where Foles could have ran a little bit, gained a few yards, but he backed up and took a sack?
Yeah, and I think that's he only got that one play, and that's what he hurt his throw and shoulder on. So I think they said today he's going to be out for a few games. So
Right.
Foles has got to stay healthy. And
Tyler Bray is now the backup. He's been in the league since 2013, but I doubt he's taken a snap in the league. But yeah, because the Titans are on a 2-game losing streak here themselves, so let's not act like they're world beaters. They did just trade for Desmond King from the Los Angeles Chargers. I'll be curious to see if he actually gets in the lineup this week. I don't know if the rules that he has to quarantine or whatever before he joins the team. But you have to imagine they're a little upset. They're on a 2-game losing streak.
They've won a lot of close games, too. I feel like all their games have been pretty close, the Titans.
Very close.
That's true.
The Bears, too.
I like the game to be close. I need to look at what the total is at here.
I could be wrong, but the Titans probably been within 1 score every game besides that Buffalo game, probably.
I think they've only won 2 games against the spread, so they all have been pretty close.
Yeah.
So the total is at 46.5. That could be a game that goes. I don't know. I hate betting NFL totals in the 40s. If I'm really being honest,
I don't really touch totals at all. I feel like I can't, especially the under.
Mm-hmm. I have to be pretty sure that it's 2 high-powered offenses to
Yeah.
touch the total. I would rather touch the spread. One thing we should probably bring up, the Los Angeles Chargers. I don't know if they're playing this week, but in the last 5 years, they have 38 losses that are by 1 score.
Oh, bro. Dude. You just caught me off guard.
They fucked me minus 2.5. They fucked me minus 2.5.
After that horrible 1 o'clock game, I had a 4 o'clock parlay. I had the Saints and the Chargers. I didn't even see the outcome of the Saints game, that overtime game, because I was so mad that the Chargers found a way to blow another game and lose on the last play of the game. So I was like, I was so pissed. So I didn't even bother watching the end of that Saints game.
I had a Bears, Seahawks, and Chargers money line parlay.
Oh my God. So
through
close.
For the first half, I'm thinking, oh, I'm great. The Bears are up 13-3. The Seahawks were winning. The Chargers were up by like 3 scores, dude. And I had to go to work. And I'm thinking,
I feel so bad for Herbert.
We didn't even have it on for some reason. And I look at my ESPN app like 8 or 9. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? They lost 31-30? Are you kidding me?
Bad. Anthony Lynn needs to go. Like, I feel bad for Herbert, man.
I love this. I love this conversation.
But you have to think about if you've taken the Chargers, anytime they're plus a score or less, take them. 38 games in the last 5 years that they have lost by 1 score or less. That's easy money right there. I'm definitely going to be tailing that the rest of the year.
Absolutely.
That bad beat on the Chargers made me have to touch that Sunday night football game of Ben DiNucci and the Eagles, which I didn't want to touch, but I had to.
What an amazing backdoor cover that was. Oh, my God. I hit on the Eagles. Brew picked the Eagles we got an insane backdoor cover on that. That probably wasn't a fumble, guys.
Definitely wasn't.
But, you know,
Oh no, I
I'll
couldn't
take it.
believe that stood. Yeah, but yeah, this
All right, guys.
episode
Yep.
is getting to that time. So we appreciate you guys coming on. Absolutely, whenever you guys want to come on. So we
Hey
appreciate
man, we gotta
it.
have you. We gotta have you guys back on Maloney's money line. Let's do it in a couple weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, and then we'll go from there. I love the collab. Unfortunately, we are a lot better than you guys this first week. Maybe the next
we gotta make it
time.
up.
That's not just a
We gotta
1
make
week
it
thing,
up.
man.
That's
Maybe
every
we
week.
could use Ryan's pick.
Yeah, but
Hey, that was the best week I've had since we started doing this. So
No, it was insane. In a week we absolutely needed for our records, but now I'm like 3 games behind Ryan, so I need to catch up this week.
yeah,
Thank you, guys. Seriously, Justin, John, thank you so much for having us on. I really appreciate it. We loved having you guys on. Anytime like you said, we're building, we're both trying to grow together. So
sir.
Pay the Man Brew Party.
Likewise,
Love
man.
it.
That's
Follow
that's
the
what
Brew
we're
Party
doing.
podcast on Facebook. Follow
Yes,
Brew
sir.
Party
Plug
on
it all.
Twitter and Instagram and YouTube. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, all the major podcasts, or just find us. Or just find us www.thebrewparty.com, man. Justin,
Yes, sir.
John, thank you so much. Ryan, there's Scooby in the background.
he's wagging
Love
his
the
tail in
dogs.
my face.
Maloney's
Yo,
money line. Thank
Maloney
you so much,
money line.
guys.
No
Yeah,
problem,
thank you
man.
guys for
We'll
having
have
us.
it all in description as well.
Everything's
so.
gonna be there.
Alright.
Yo, before we leave, Ball State 3-point game, 7 minutes to go. Let's go enjoy that one, fellas.
Chirp, chirp, chirp.
Yes, sir. All right, guys, be good.
Yeah, thanks.